Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Feel Good Friday to you, my friends. I hope all of you are having a great week. Sorry, I had a little something I needed to look at real quick. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, like I was saying. I have had a busy, kind of hectic week, but I'm here with you now. Looking forward to our Feel Good Friday show. All right. So before we get started, I do want to say hello to all of my friends on YouTube. Hello, Mary. Hi, Colleen, Anita. It's so good to see you guys. Facebook is making their way in slowly but surely. I hope everybody has good internet connection because we've been fighting this battle with the internet and connectivity to Facebook and YouTube. It seems like the entire country has been fighting this battle for a week or more at this point. So I'm hoping that everybody's got good internet connection. Last Friday's show was difficult. We did better on Tuesday of this week, but you guys just cross your fingers because I don't want anything bad to happen as far as our internet is concerned here. I hope you are all well, though. All right, so I do have some things to talk about before we get started with our Feel Good Friday show. Just a couple of reminders and then a quick little update for you guys. So first and foremost, it is Feel Good Friday, just like normal, and our schedule will be continuing to go as is. Don't forget to set your reminder, though, for 4 p.m. Eastern Time this afternoon for the Master Maker Show over on JTV Extra. Links can be dropped that you can save for later for that. If you have trouble finding it, you can always just go to jtv.com and scroll down to the bottom and hit JTV Extra. And it will bring up the show. And if you do that now, you can still save that link for later, which is really cool. But if you have a hard time finding it, just make your way to the community. Because the team always has links in the community for those of you who are having a hard time finding it. Sometimes it's more difficult than other times to find it. I'm not entirely sure why, but just set your reminders for that. I do want to mention that Master Maker will be becoming in the not too distant future 2 shows a week. So your guys are going to be seeing so much more of me. You're going to be sick of me by the end. That's coming in September, though, so I've got a couple more weeks before that happens, and I will keep you updated on that. But Master Maker will be turning into 2 shows a week instead of just the one. So yeah, there's that. That's exciting, right? Let's see. What else? Okay, so something that I do want to mention to you guys that's not exactly the best news in the world, but it is just an update, just a business update. And that is that our text messaging service that we have been using for over a year now, I have disabled our text messaging service. You used to be able to sign up and you could get text messages from me, and those basically were just reminders about the show. It became one of those things that was not exactly the most cost effective thing in the world for my business, and so unfortunately I have had to get rid of that. So you will no longer be receiving text message alerts from me. So because of that, you do need to be sure that you are setting notifications for yourself, whether you're setting personal notifications or if you are relying on Facebook notifications. So just a quick word about Facebook notifications, which is why I started using the text messaging service in the first place, is that's not the most reliable way in the world to get your notifications. I'm sorry, Facebook. I hate to say that, but it's true. Those notifications only work some of the time. So that's not always the best way. So I always have a backup notification for me, like on my phone, to remind me of when somebody has a live so that I don't miss it. So I definitely recommend kind of doing that for yourself as well. A lot of you guys don't realize that messaging service that I was using cost a whole lot of money. It's not a free service. So that's why I had to just get rid of it, because just like everything else in the world, the prices increase. And that was a hard pill to swallow. So I had to make the hard choice to stop doing that. So I apologize. No more text messages from me, but they were just show reminders anyway. So you're not missing a whole lot, right? All right. So let's get started. It is Feel Good Friday, which is my very favorite day of the week. And here on our Feel Good Friday shows, we focus on fun, easy, simple, instant gratification jewelry that you can very easily recreate yourself. And I make that easy for you, right? by creating kits. Everything that you see in today's show, you can purchase in kit form over in my Etsy shop. And my team works very hard here in the comments on Facebook and YouTube to drop links directly to those kits so that you don't have to wander around Etsy or the internet. You can just click on it and go straight over to it, add it to your cart if you want to. And let's see, what else? It's funny. I do the Feel Good Friday, like little blurb every Friday, and I never miss a beat. And today I'm like, wait, did I leave something out? I don't think so. I don't think so. Just know that here on our Feel Good Friday shows, guys, we focus on really simple things. We focus on simple technique, like simple loops, wrapped loops, stringing, simple knotting. We don't get bogged down by technique because I want you to go into the weekend feeling inspired and with the reminder in your heart that beautiful jewelry does not have to be a representation of every single skill or technique that you have ever learned, right? Sometimes less is more, and that's exactly what we want here for our Feel Good Friday shows. So, hopefully you'll order a few kits, and then the time in between when that kit makes it to you, you'll go make a simple piece of jewelry just for yourself. Hey, Meredith's in the house. Hey, Meredith. I just got off the phone with Meredith. All right, so our Feel Good Friday shows always start out with a maker mix. Maker mixes are small batches of beady goodness, things I don't have enough of to create an entire kit out of, but still things that I want to share with you. And today is no different. I have a beautiful little maker mix for you guys. This one is called Forest Camo. I'm going to turn the camera around and we're going to get started with that. And let's get to it, shall we? All right. So, a little adjustments here. This tripod is never my friend on show day. I don't know why. All right. Sorry for that, you guys. I think we're in good shape now. All right. So this is the Forest Camo Maker Mix. This one's a beautiful mix. I love the colors that are in this, guys. I'm starting to transition into fall, and you're going to see that in today's show. This is full of check glass, but there is also some ceramic here and a couple of beautiful pieces of jasper. So you've got some crackle beads in here. You've got some little baby drucks. You've got some rice beads. There are leaves. There is some brass filigree in here, as well as tons of check glass. It's just a really pretty mix in a color palette that is very much that kind of transition. Like, we still got color. We haven't gone straight to browns yet. We still have the pops of bright greens because summer has a tendency to kind of hang on, right? It doesn't just disappear. So this is most definitely kind of that transitional color palette from the end of summer into fall. And I got to tell you something, I'm over this heat, so I'm ready. Any day now would be nice. It's like 90 degrees here. I'm ready. All right, so keeping in the same theme of that, I've got a necklace project for you guys. This is a simple necklace. This is the Summer's End necklace. It's a really simple, I've got a lot of simple designs today, which is what Feel Good Friday is all about, but some of my favorite simple things today. So I've got a lot of leather. I've got a lot of leaves and green. So I'm going to show you, we're going to put together just a very simple, grab that decorative ring here. All right, so we're going to lay out, we're going to do a decorative ring with some charm elements to it. We're also going to use a ceramic bead, some leather, and from this we are going to hang a beautiful check glass leaf. I've got another smaller little acrylic leaf here. I've got a leaf charm. I also have some beautiful pops of green and kind of a purpley. It's almost like a vitriol, if you will, right? So we're going to pop those in there. And it looks like I'm missing a bead somewhere. Oh, it's right here in front of my face. These little vitriol check glass rounds. Okay, and then all of this is going to come together with leather. So this is a nice long necklace. It's going to be one of those pieces that you can layer with other things. I do love a good long, simple necklace, and this definitely checks all of the boxes for that. So let's start out with attaching everything to the ring first, and then we'll put the rest of this together. So you're going to take a piece of wire that is included in your kit, and you're going to thread your check glass leaf onto that piece of wire. Okay, and I like to have a short end and a long end. You don't need to put this in the middle. And we're going to take those two wires, those two ends, and we're going to crisscross those over the top of the bead. Okay, then we are going to grab some tools here. We're going to take our long wire, we're going to bend it straight up and down, and then we're going to take our shorter wire and we're going to wrap it around that longer wire. And for me, I like to wrap down for this kind of project instead of upwards, but it's totally up to you. If you want to make your wire wraps up like you're doing a wrapped loop, you totally can do that. I'm just kind of wrapping mine downwards. However, I did get too big of a loop there. So basically what I'm doing is I'm wrapping closer to the bead. It's just making like a little wire platform, if you will, for my beads to sit on. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off. Okay, and then I'm going to take my crystal bead here, drop that down. You can see it's got that kind of green purple vitriol shift to it, and then I'm going to wire wrap it, and I'm going to wire wrap it directly to my decorative ring here. So I'm going to grab the wire right where it is exiting the bead. I'm bending the wire over the top of the pliers. I'm going to come in with my round nose pliers, and I'm going to make a loop. Now my loop, I am going to make my loop a little bit larger than I normally do, just so that we can clear the edge of our decorative ring. So I'm coming back more towards the middle of the round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. That's going to close up our loop, right? And then I'm going to take that wire, thread it through the decorative ring, and then just slide those two pieces together. I'm going to use my bent chain nose pliers to hold on to that loop. And then I'm going to wire wrap. Now I have plenty of wire here, so I'm going to wrap downwards towards my bead. And then I'm actually going to turn around and come back up those wire wraps just to double up the wire so that it kind of matches the thickness on the leaf here. All right, and then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, trim off the excess. And if you need to tuck your end, you can. And then you can straighten up your loop. Mine got a little crooked. All right, so there is our leaf wire wrapped to our decorative ring. All right, now I'm going to add my bright green leaf. I'm going to put it over here on this side. I'm going to use a jump ring to do that, but I want to take these little check glass rounds and have those as little dangles in the front. Now you've got two, you can use both of them or you can just use one. I'm going to thread those onto a head pin, and I'm going to do a wrapped loop. All right, so grabbing the wire where it is exiting that bead, bend the wire, coming in with the round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then we're going to do the wire wraps. Now, this is one of those occasions where we're using a very small bead, so you want to be sure that you do not over wire wrap. If you can only fit 3 wire wraps in there, don't push a 4th. If you can only get 2, don't push a 3rd, because you don't want to accidentally damage your bead. So I've got room for 3 wire wraps. I'm not going to push it. I'm going to come in with my cutter tool, and again, be very, very gentle. You don't want to accidentally clip the top of your bead. Now with the rounds, it's not nearly as delicate as like a bicone, but still, I always try to be careful with my little tiny beads because I don't want to ruin the way that they look. All right, so I'm going to take a smaller jump ring. You've got several jump rings in your kit here. You're going to take the smallest jump ring, and we're going to open that up, and we're going to thread on our 2 little check glass fire polish rounds. We're going to close that back. So those are going to hang from that. Then we're going to take a different jump ring. This one's a little bit bigger. We're going to thread the jump ring with our fire polish rounds, and then thread that through the front of our leaf, and then attach that to our decorative ring. We'll flip those over here. Look how pretty It's super, super cute. I love this. It's kind of like a charm necklace, you know? I don't know. There's something about that that I really find intriguing. All right. So then last thing to hang here, we're going to take our leaf charm and we're going to thread that onto a jump ring and then thread that onto our decorative ring as well. Close that back. All right. And now we're going to attach our cord. So we are going to take our leather cord. You've got a nice long piece of leather, so you can really cut this to make it shorter if you want to, or you can leave it long. But I'm going to take my ends, bring my ends together and find the middle. And then we're going to do a lark's head knot. So I'm going to take that through the middle of our decorative ring. And then I'm just going to pass the ends of the cord through that loop and pull. And that's going to give us a lark's head knot. Then I'm going to take my two ends and I'm going to thread my ceramic bead onto both. And then I'm going to pull that down so that it sits right on top of that knot. So it's going to help make sure that that knot stays secure. However, if you feel like your ceramic bead is a little bit loose on your leather, you can always come back here to the back of that knot and put a little bit of hypo cement right there, and it will help to keep your knot secure. But I think that the ceramic bead will definitely keep it in place. So that is the front of our necklace, right? And then the only thing left to do is to add our hardware to the ends. Now I'm not going to do both. I am just going to do one of these just to kind of save some time, but you've got cord ends. We've used these cord ends several times for projects. You're going to thread that on to the end of one of your pieces of leather. Now, I realize it's a large cord end for just a little piece of leather, but that's okay. It still works. So what you're going to do is you want to try to keep your leather off to one side. You can see how I've got mine over here to the right. And then I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to very gently, if I can hold on to everything here, very gently close the right side of the cord end over that cord. So you can see how I just got it over to one side and I'm pushing down on the right side of that cord end, right? So that's folded over on top. Then I'm going to give a squeeze on the outside edges to move that left side over. To close that over the right side, and then I'm going to close flat with my pliers. So you can see a single cord end will work with that large cord end. It's nice and secure. If you're worried, you can add a little bit of glue, but I think that it is fine. So you're going to do that to both ends, and then you're just going to add your hardware. We'll go ahead and do both ends. Might as well, just in case you need to see it again. So same thing, just going to close that cord end with that cord on just the right side. Squeeze on the outside to kind of fold that left side over the right. Right? And then you're just going to give it a little squeeze. Okay, and then you're just going to add your hardware. So I just got two jump rings here. Jump ring and a clasp. And then on the other side, just the jump ring. And you are done. There you go. All right. You've got your fun little necklace here in the front. Again, you've got tons of leather, so you can shorten this up if you need to make it shorter, or you can leave it nice and long. This is a great transition because the green is still going on, right? Going strong, at least here in East Tennessee. We've still got lots of green around. But I do see some changes that are starting to happen. A lot of the dead leaves that are starting to fall off. Some of that is because of the storms, but those leaves that have hit the ground are starting to turn that brown color, and Guys, it's just going to be a couple of weeks before we're going to be talking about being in fall. And as a jewelry designer, if you're putting together a booth or you're getting your website ready for the transition in seasons, this is definitely a good transition piece for that. So, all right, that was our first project for the day. I'm going to move this over to the side. We're going to keep going. We are not stopping. I've got another project, another necklace project. Thank you, Erlene. Thank you so, so much. So much. All right, this is an interesting project. This is another long necklace. This is like, for those of you who like tassel necklaces, long tassel necklaces, this is along the same kind of line style-wise, but instead of a tassel, look at this. I've got a chunky monkey gemstone. Everybody's is going to be different. I don't even know what this is. I would imagine it's either some kind of agate or some kind of jasper. All I know is that it is big. It is full of beautiful fall colors. And the necklace itself is really kind of interesting. So let's put together an interesting piece, shall we? So what we're going to do, got chain here for the length. And we've got beautiful check glass drop. We've got an interesting triangle. And we've got this filigree piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our filigree piece and we're actually going to fold it in half. If you guys will remember the swan necklace that we did not too long ago, where we took one of the filigree pieces and we folded it in half to create a swan, we're going to fold this one in half to create kind of like a bail, if you will, right? Those two holes are going to line up. And we're going to thread this on to our triangle. So it's going to take a little wiggle. But we'll thread that on to the bottom of our brass triangle. Okay, so we're building a really long, structured statement piece here in the front, a focal, if you will. Okay, so I've got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a jump ring here. Actually, let's wire wrap first, and then we'll do the jump ring to just to add it all together. But we're going to use a twisted jump ring to attach our chunky monkey nugget here to the bottom of this. So you can see this is sort of like a tassel piece in the fact that the structure is elongated, but it's not a tassel. Instead, we're using this really cool rock. A rock that rocks. Okay, we're going to do a knotted head pin here. So you've got a piece of wire included in your kit. We're going to come in with our round nose pliers. We're going to grab the tip of that wire with the tip of the pliers, roll the wire around the tip of the pliers all the way around once, and then all the way around a second time, making sure it goes underneath that first wrap. Okay, and then you're going to stop where you see the cut in the wire so that you know you've gone around twice. Take the wire and bend it so that it is going underneath those coils. It's running away from the pliers, away from your hand. Okay. Then you're going to take it off of the tool and back through. Jennifer says, you look like you could use some food. You're a bit shaky. I am. And you're exactly right. I'm starving. The only thing I've had is coffee. That's where the shaky is coming from. All I've had is coffee today, guys. It is 1:30 in the afternoon, and I definitely need some sustenance, if you will. I just haven't had time. Thanks for noticing. Making me a little self-conscious. It's okay. I have those days now and then. All right, so I'm going to grab the wire right up against the coils here. And I'm grabbing that with my nylon jaw pliers. Please don't do this with just regular pliers, because as you go to pull it through the jaw of the pliers, you're going to tear up that coating that's on the outside of your wire, and it will no longer be smooth. All right, so Nicole said, someone get Sarah a burger. I definitely need a burger. All right, so then you've pulled a knot into the bottom of your wire, and this is a good thing because your chunky piece here has got a nice large hole on it, so we definitely need something big, and that knot is going to be the perfect thing to hold that in place. All right, so now we're going to do a wrapped loop, and I'm going to do my wrapped loop the same way that I did the wrapped loop in the previous project, where I double it up, just because this is such a heavy piece. Just a standard wire wrap is just a little off balance. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to grab the wire, right where it is exiting the bead, bend over the top of the pliers. You're going to come in with the round nose pliers. Okay, we're going up and over. Yes, bring me some fair food, Kim. Oh my gosh. I will take funnel cakes and bratwursts with peppers and onions, please. All right, I'm going to wire wrap in that space between the loop and the top of the bead. But then again, like we did in the previous project, because I have the extra wire, I'm actually going to go back up over those wire wraps just to double it up. This is going to kind of help it all be nice and balanced, and it doesn't look like you've got this teeny tiny wire that's holding on to this big chunky monkey bead, right? Then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and trim off the excess. My goodness, that was Albert. He's got a big mouth. All right, now I'm going to use my twisted jump ring here, and I'm going to go through where those two holes line up, and then I'm going to thread on my bead, and I'm going to close that back. Okay. Giant cinnamon rolls. Oh, you're killing me. All right, so there's that. Now, I couldn't just leave it at that. Listen, I left out. This is not right. I left out some stuff. You got me all self-conscious about, oh my. Okay, let's do it again, because I've left out some of the beads here. I'm going to cut this off. We're going to do this again. Fortunately for me, the projects in today's show are not super long projects, so I can redo this. All right, we're going to do another knotted head pin because I left out the beautiful bead caps and our bicone, and I don't want to do that. Plus, it always helps to see a knotted head pin more than once. So here we go. We're going to do it again with a new piece of wire. Fortunately, nobody has their kit, so they're not working along with me, right? All right, so I'm grabbing the tip of the wire with the tip of the pliers. We're going to roll that around, tip of the pliers all the way around once, and then we're going to go a second time. It goes directly underneath. Sometimes people get a little confused about that. It goes underneath that one, and then you're going to stop where you see the cut in the wire, and the wire, bend it so that it runs underneath the two coils, away from the pliers and away from your hand, okay? This is an obscene amount of wire. Trim some of this off. This is just a scrap piece I picked up. Okay, I'm going to take the wire, turn it around, and stick it through those loops. So you have this funny little lasso shape, right? Then you're going to grab that with your nylon jaw pliers, just like we did before, right next to the coils. Okay, then you're going to pull. And when you pull, you're going to pull that knot into the end of the wire. All right, now let's try this again. Let's try this again. So we're going to thread on our beautiful big bead. Okay. Then we're going to thread on a bead cap because I love the little metal accents. Didn't want to leave that out. Completely forgot. All right, so we've got a big bead cap to go on the top there. Then I've got another bead cap I'm going to thread on going the opposite direction. And then I'm going to put a bicone right on the top of that, just to give it a little decorative flair. Now you can leave all that out if you want to. It's totally up to you. Hi, Mary. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, now we're going to wire wrap again, just like we did before. Bending the wire over the top of the pliers, coming in with the round nose pliers, up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, right? And then wire wrap in that space. And then I'm going back up over those wire wraps a second time. Again, just to make it a little chunky monkey. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. Okay. Now let's go back and add this to that jump ring that we attached. So I'm going to open the jump ring back up. I have a hard time seeing the opening in these twisted jump rings sometimes, so I have to spin it around until I see it. That's the one thing about these that it's a little difficult. It's right there. You can barely see it. It's a sign of a good jump ring though, you know. All right, then we're going to thread that on. There we go. Now we have Now it looks more like the picture, right? All right, so the last couple of steps here, we have a check glass drop that I'm going to hang in the middle here just to kind of tie it all together to bring the black. So I'm pulling the black from the gemstone bead, the bicone, and then all the way up here into the top part of this necklace. So I'm going to thread this onto a head pin, and you can do a simple loop here or a wrapped loop. I'm going to do another wrapped loop. Bend the wire, bring in the round nose pliers. All right, going up and over, rotate, take the wire. Wanda says, ooh, I'm loving that folded filigree piece for the bail. I know, right? It's super cool. I love those filigree pieces for all kinds of crazy things. It's really kind of amazing, all of the different things that you can do. And I think some people complain about them being thin. Part of the reason that they're thin is so that you can do things like that. They're really meant to be malleable and pliable to turn into other things. You can buy some really thick, strong ones if you want to, but you can't as easily manipulate them shape-wise. So, all right, so I've got a wrapped loop on that. And now the last step of this, at least for the focal, is going to be adding another jump ring. So we're going to twist to open. We're going to thread on our check glass, and then we're going to thread that to the top of our triangle. And I'm going to go ahead and thread my chain, and we're going to close that back. I'm going to flip my little check glass around. And then for the ends of this, guys, it is exactly the same as any other chain piece, or like we did with the cord ends on the previous piece. It's just 2 jump rings. You're just going to run your jump ring through the end of your chain, add your lobster clasp to 1. Go ahead. Did you guys see where I mangled my hand? I was just waiting for somebody to notice. But I'll go ahead and point it out because you guys know I'm so bad about injuries. Like, I shouldn't be allowed to use pliers or any kind of tools, to be completely honest with you, because I'm so accident prone. And I thought I was going to get away with not saying anything about this one. That's where the pliers jumped just a few minutes ago. Yep. I'm always getting injured here. Just can't help it. All right. Somebody has to start the injury count over again. But how fun is that? So your piece of chain for this one is also really, really long. This is another like long piece that you can layer with other pieces. It really just kind of shows off your gemstone. That everybody's gemstone pieces are going to be different. Obviously, they're very organic as far as that is concerned. The colors are all pretty much the same though, because they were all part of the same bundle of beads. They have those beautiful maroons and greens. You could actually mix in some dragon's blood jasper with this, which I think would be awesome. Some obsidian if you wanted to. You really could like bead a whole piece if you wanted to, or you could do that, like make a smaller necklace, a shorter necklace to layer with this in those colors. I think would be absolutely beautiful. So there you go. Thank you, Boot Scootin' with Beth. Thank you so much, and Dina. I appreciate that so much. All right, so that was our second necklace. I'm going to set this over to the side. Everybody's loving that one. I'm glad. I think it's a really cool piece. All right, so now I've got some earrings for you guys. I've got 2 different pairs of earrings, one that comes in 2 different colors. But we're going to start with this one because I do love antique brass and pearls together. Who doesn't, right? They're so pretty. Thank you, Carmen. You have a beautiful day too. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so this is just another simple pair of earrings with a couple of jump rings here, or well, 1 jump ring per earring, and some decorative rings, right? We've got some shell-coated pearls. These came from Sam. I've got some of these beautiful fire polish rounds. I believe I got those from Sam as well. So a really pretty pair of earrings. If you like a hoop and you like pearls, I've definitely got you covered. All right, so we are going to start out by adding our check glass round here to the bottom. So we're just going to thread that on to our head pin, and we're going to do a simple loop here. All right, so instead of bending the wire over the top of the pliers, we're going to bend the wire where it is exiting the bead. We're going to come in with our cutter tool and we're going to trim off, leaving ourselves about 1/4 of an inch of wire. Might take a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. I like to make the loop for this a little bit bigger just because we are going over that decorative ring's edge. So you're going to come in with your round nose pliers and you're going to roll back. Again, making a little bit bigger loop than I normally make, just so that it's going to be able to clear the edge of that decorative ring. All right, so once you've got your loop created, you're going to twist to open it back up, and then you're going to thread that on to your ring, and then you're just going to twist to close that back. Okay. So you've got that hanging off the bottom. And guys, this, I don't know that the color is coming across on camera very well. This pairs really well with this pink peachy pearl because the color here is like bronze, but it also has this rose hint to it that I don't think is coming across on camera, but it is very much a rose bronze. All right, so now we're going to create our dangle piece. So we're going to take another head pin. We're going to thread on one of our shell-coated pearls. Straighten up my head pin a little bit. I'm going to thread on the pearl. Then I'm going to thread on a bead cap. And then a little faceted crystal on the top. And then I'm just going to do another simple loop. I don't have room for a wrapped loop here because of the amount of space that the pearl takes up inside the ring. So a simple loop, just bend the wire where it is exiting the bead, and with your cutter tool, trim off, leaving yourself about 1/4 of an inch of wire. And then use your round nose pliers again to roll back to create your simple loop. All right, now the rest of this is really just about assembling everything. So we're going to take a twisted jump ring, open that up. We're going to thread on our pearl. We're going to thread that onto our decorative ring, and then we're going to thread that onto our second ring. It's another solid ring, so it's not a jump ring. And that's a lot to thread on here. It does all fit, but you do have to be a little mindful. Okay, and then you're just going to use your pliers to twist to close that back. And the last thing to do is to add your ear wire. These are so pretty. They're so pretty. I love pearls and antique brass. There is something about that combination that I always think is just really, really beautiful. This has just a little bit of sparkle to it. That little pop of sparkle at the top, and then the facets on that check glass fire polish gives this just the right of sparkle without it being like too much. And I think that the antique brass, sometimes you don't want too much sparkle with it, but this is just enough. These are really beautiful. They're nice and lightweight, and you've got those beautiful pearls that are going to take you all the way through fall and winter for sure. Very, very pretty. All right, gonna sit these to the side. We're not stopping, we're moving on to the next. All right, so the next set of earrings comes in 2 different colorways, and I definitely have fall on the brain with these. All right, so this is the gold colored version with our check glass leaves. All right, that beautiful pop of like raspberry. So pretty. So that's the gold version. And then the silver version is in black. Now it's black in an English cut bead up here that's black and silver. The ring is silver. This one kind of reminds me of Halloween, right? Without being like in your face Halloween orange and black. This is like a classy orange and black that you're going to be able to wear like all season. So it's not overly Halloween. Can't go wrong with black. And then the check glass sleeves just happen to be in an orange color, right? So those are the 2 choices here. They're both separate listings. So it's not one of those where it's the same listing and you pull down. These are definitely 2 different listings, but the earrings themselves go together the exact same way. We're going to put together the gold pair real quick. And we're going to start out here with our bottom piece. So our bottom piece is going to be an eye pin. And on the eye pin, we're going to thread on our 3 check glass leaves. Okay. And then we're going to do a simple loop on the other end. Now, the trick to this is that you want to be able to make sure there's enough room, because you are going to kind of bend this to match the curve of the bottom of that ring. And so before you do your simple loop on the other end, if you want to go ahead and kind of curve it, what's going to happen is it's going to give you enough room. It's going to put just a little extra space in between those beads because of the way that they see the little pop of the metal between there. If you string these on and you make your simple loop too tight, they're all going to be crunched together, and you're not going to be able to bend this wire to go around the bottom of the loop. So I like to do the bending kind of first and then come in and do the simple loop. All right, so now I'm going to grab the wire. I'm going to give it a bend. Coming in with my cutter tool, trim off, leave yourself about 1/4 of an inch of wire. And again, using the round nose pliers to roll back to create that simple loop. And I'm going to give these a little bit of a turn here. Okay, just a little shaping. It doesn't take a lot, it's just a little. You just want to give it an ever so slight little U curve, right? You want to make sure, though, that your 2 loops on the ends are facing towards you, because then you're going to take 2 jump rings to go through those and to go over the edge of your ring. All right, so you're going to hook the simple loop and then hook your decorative ring. Close that back. And then you're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. And you may still have to kind of curve your eye pin just a little bit more. Okay, so you're going to grab the simple loop and then the decorative ring. And then twist to close. And then you're going to kind of eyeball it to see if it needs a little zhuzh. Right? A little zhuzh, and mine does. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking the leaves and I'm just kind of pulling down just slightly, right? And that's going to make that nice curve around the bottom of the ring, right? It's just enough room between the leaves and the edge. There, it's helpful if I move my fingers. Okay. All right, so there's that. Now, the rest of this is super easy peasy as well. So we're going to take another eye pin. We're going to thread on our rondelle, and then we are going to thread on our bicone, and we're going to do a wrapped loop. Right? So coming in with the chain nose pliers, bend the wire. Coming in with the round nose pliers. Up and over. Rotate, take the wire over to the other side. And then you're going to wire wrap. Again, be careful because that's a bicone, so we definitely need to be cautious. Don't force more wire wraps than you can fit in there. And then be cautious when you come in with your cutter tool to trim off. And when you go to tuck your wire, just be gentle, right? Just being gentle. All right. And then the rest of this is just assembling. So we're going to take a jump ring, twist to open, thread that onto the top of our decorative ring, thread on the loop on the bottom of our rondelle, and then we're just going to add the ear wire. I love these. This color combination, this one is definitely my favorite. I do love the silver because I normally wear silver, but there is something about this color combination of that raspberry and that orange from the leaves. It's just so pretty. So pretty. All right, so there are our last earrings for the day. Again, these come in the 2 color combinations. So you've got the gold with the pink, and then you've got the silver with the black. They both go together the exact same way. They just look different. That's all. Depending on what kind of metal choice you like the best. All right, gonna we've got one more. I was about to say we're going to turn things around. We're not done yet. We've got one more project. We've got a pretty bracelet project. Then we will be done for the day. All right, so I've got some more leather for you guys because I do love leather and wire together. And this is a fun little charm bracelet. It's already preloaded with some cool charms, but listen, you can load this up yourself too to further personalize it if you want to. I've got a piece of chain here. This is some beadalon chain, by the way. Got some chain here with all of the open links. I'm going to use those larger links to hang some charms. Let me show you what the metal accents for this are. So we've got a circle with some hearts. We've got a larger heart. I have a smaller heart. And then I have a lucky cat. All of those are going to go onto head pins. You'll notice those three already have head pins, wrapped loops, and jump rings. We're going to give this guy the same treatment. He's going to be put onto a head pin. And then in between all of those, I have these matte metallics, rondelles. And those are going to go in between our charms. And so this guy, he definitely needs that treatment as well. But all of those are going to go here. And then the rest of the bracelet, I'll show you how to put together here in just a second. Let's go ahead and give our little cat charm and our rondelle what they need to be a part of our bracelet. All right, so we're going to take head pin, thread our cat onto the head pin, and then we're going to do a wrapped loop on the top. Grab the wire where it exits the bead, give it a bend. Coming in with our round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side, and then you're going to wire wrap. Pamela says, I need a French bulldog, no cat. Listen, if you look at this one from far away, you can pretend like it's a French bulldog. Well, maybe not, but I mean, you could. You can always swap it out for your own charm if you wanted to, right? You don't have to use all these. But I think from a distance, you never know. You never know. All right, I'm going to sit him to the side. We won't give him his jump ring quite yet. We're going to go ahead and put the wraps loop on this one as well. And then we will put all of this together. All right, so grabbing the wire, bend it over the top of the pliers, coming in with your round nose pliers, going up and over, rotate, take the wire. Erlene says squint. I love it. If you squint and stand back a couple of feet, nobody will know. Who's going to know? They're not going to know. All right, I would come in with a gutter tool and trim off the excess wire. Y'all are my favorite people, I'm just saying. Okay, so now we're going to attach these to our chain here. And I like to alternate, but you can put these on there however you want to. So I'm just going to lay them out. So for each large link, a bead is going to go on, right? Just like that. Okay, so we're going to fill up that little piece of chain. Then we will move on to the next step. Oh, I do need those. All right. So the ones that already have the jump rings on them, I'm going to twist to open, and then I'm going to hook that on to the chain link. And for me personally, I like to have all of mine all on the same side. But if you want to alternate, you know, and you can put them on opposite sides of the chain, you can do that. Or you can leave that one side open and then fill it up with your own charms if you wanted to. Totally up to you. Right, so I'm just using a jump ring. Now, if you wanted to leave the jump rings out, you could wire wrap these directly to each one of the links as well. and then just save your jump rings. Oh my goodness, Colleen, I totally forgot. Completely forgot. You guys, I have a special going on at the moment, and I completely forgot about it. Listen, if you spend more than $40 in the shop today through Monday, you're going to get a free gift. So that's, and when I don't mean through Monday, through Sunday at midnight. So you've got today, tomorrow, and Sunday until midnight. If you spend more than $40 in the shop, you will get a free gift. I do ask that, since Etsy doesn't allow me to set up a promotion that way, that in the memo section of your order, please put in free gift. I'm going to mark the timestamp here at 150 because I didn't mention it before. If you made a purchase before 150 today and you spent more than $40, I will honor that free gift, because I'm sorry, I completely forgot that I had that going on. So yeah, if you spend more than $40 in the shop between now and Sunday, you will get a free gift with your order. Thank you, Colleen. I cannot believe I forgot that. All right, so now I have all of the charms attached to my chain here, and I want to double check because I did pick up and it looks like I messed up. First of all, this is not closed very well, so we're going to close that back. Okay, and yes, I got some of these on the wrong side. These two that I had, right? They're on the wrong side of the charm, or on the chain. So I'm going to take these off real quick. I'm just kind of picky about that because I want them to all be on the same side. And up until that point, they had been. That's why I was picking up and then laying it back down, and picking it up and then laying it back down, because that's a good way to kind of keep up with where you're putting things. She is doing her job. Listen, if it weren't for my team, I could not function. And Colleen knows it too. Colleen's like, man, Sarah, what are you doing? There's probably even a message in my message box right now where she's like, by the way, boss. She's always taking care of me. All right, close that back. Okay, so now we have all of our charms on our chain. Okay, and we are ready to do the length of our bracelet. Now, this is a little bit different than anything that we've done before. So there's not any actual hardware to this. We are going to use 2 pieces of suede, and we're going to fold the suede over a jump ring and do a little wire bundle. That's going to go on that side. And then we're going to do the same thing over here on the other side. And we're actually going to use this ring, and I'll show you how you can make this kind of an adjustable bracelet. So let's do this part first. So we're going to take our suede, and we're going to take our jump ring, and we're just going to fold that over just like so. Okay. So I'm not doing a full 2. I'm not folding it completely in half. I'm just folding it over like an inch from the end. Okay. And I'm going to take a piece of wire. Okay. I'm going to cut this wire in 2. So I've got 1 for each side, though this one's already done. And then I'm just going to take my wire and I'm going to bundle it around the leather. And it doesn't have to be nice and neat. It can be messy. In fact, I kind of prefer it messy. I always do mine nice and neat, but I'll be honest with you, I kind of prefer the messy look. I just never can quite achieve the messy look. This is like my default setting with wire is always nice and neat, and that sometimes really gets on my nerves. Like, I wish I could do more messy wire wrappy things, but it's just my fingers just don't ever allow me to do it that way. But you're just going to bundle around that, right? And then if you want to, you can trim and then tuck your ends. It's a little bit tricky, but you just cut your wire and then you're going to tuck it underneath those wraps. I'm not going to do all that at the moment just because I'm trying to get through the edge into the project. You don't have to do it that way though. If you'll just cut your wire, because the suede is nice and soft. If you'll just cut the wire at the end and then just kind of push it and tuck it that way, and make sure that it's not sticking up and it's not going to get caught on your clothing, right? And then you can come over to the other side and kind of tidy it up a little bit. Your little wire bundle. Okay. Then you're going to take your two jump rings and you're going to attach those to the ends of your chain, one on either side. Well, if I could hold on to things, that would be helpful. My goodness. All right, twist to close that back, and then same thing over here. I know, Wanda, I can't help it. I don't know why. I can't stop myself. All right, so that is going to be the beginnings of the length of your bracelet. But now what you're going to do is you are going to trim some of that off. We're going to take the two ends of the leather together, and we're going to stick those through this decorative ring. Now, it's not a jump ring. It's a solid ring. And you may need to use your pliers to grab a hold of it. But you're going to pull both ends through that, right? And it's going to be a snug fit, but you want it to be a snug fit because that's what makes this bracelet adjustable in size, right? You don't want it to slip and slide around. Otherwise, your bracelet is always going to be too big. So you want to be sure that it takes a little bit of effort, right, to move that up and down along the leather, right? Then to keep it from sliding off the ends, you're going to take each end and you're just going to tie an overhanded knot in the end. That way it will never slide through the ring here, and it is truly adjustable. So you can make it tighter, you can make it bigger. The suede is so soft, so I'm having a hard time grabbing onto it, especially with these dumb fingernails. There we go. Right. So that way it'll never pull through, but you can open it up nice and wide to get it on. And then once you get it on, you can close it up and keep it the size that you need it to be. You've got your little dangles off of it. This is one of my favorite projects that we've done in a very long time. It's a very, very simple, but it's cool because there's not any hardware involved. I really like that. I am a huge, huge fan of leather pieces of jewelry. Leather is one of those things that you can wear all year, right? It's good for the summer, but it's also great for the fall and winter because a lot of times it comes in those beautiful colors. It's also easy to wear, especially when it's nice and soft. This one is so soft. You're going to find that it's very, very comfortable to wear. And it keeps you from having a full dangly charm bracelet. It's only half of it, right? So you can add your charms to it and everything, but it's not full, so it's not going to constantly drive you crazy. I just think it's a really pretty piece in general. Plus, I do love the hearts and the little lucky cat. So, I mean, it checked all of my boxes. All right, so that is it for our projects for our Feel Good Friday show. I'm going to turn you around. We're going to go right back through everything really quickly, and then I will let you guys go at least for a little while before our Master Maker show. So I do want to hold this one up for you because it always helps to kind of see things from a different point of view. Also helps because the lighting is a little bit different, so you can always also kind of get like a different feel for the colors and the beads. These matte metallics have both like the green, gold, blue, and that purpley color you can see in them. So they're really, really pretty. They've got a nice little shift to them, right? Then we had our very feminine, I do love these, antique brass and pearls hoops. I love these. Love these so, so much. They're simple, but they're really pretty. They're not too sparkly. It's just enough for that antique brass. Then we had our leaves, our little pop of color. I love these so much. They're so pretty. So I had these in the gold and also in the silver. The silver is a little bit more Halloween without being like in your face because it is that orange and black, but I don't think anybody would notice, like, think those are straight up Halloween earrings if you wanted to wear them all fall. Or any old time if you wanted to, right? Super, super pretty. And then last but not least, we had our two necklace designs. We had our great big chunky monkey gemstone nugget. This one is just so cool. It's just such a fun, very different design, right? Really, really different. For those of you who like really long, long necklaces that you can layer with shorter pieces, this is definitely that. And then for those of you who do like the long necklace, but maybe not nearly as big, I have our other leather necklace here, our kind of charm necklace, if you will. We've got our leaves. We've got 3 different leaves and some vitriol colored. I am shaky. Look at that. My hand is shaking all over the place. I need to go put something on top of that coffee in my stomach. What is happening to me? My gosh. All right. Well, apparently I need to go have a snack. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and letting me be a part of your Friday afternoon. Thank you for everybody who's made purchases in my shop. Don't forget, if you spend $40 or more in the shop today through Sunday night at midnight, you will get a free gift with your purchase, which I haven't done in a long time. So I'm pretty excited to do that. So yeah, don't forget. Just need to put in the memo section of your order free gift so that I'll see it. I can't do a coupon code because Etsy doesn't allow a free gift sort of thing. But if you put it in the memo, we'll make sure to add that free gift in with your order. All right. Thank you so, so much, you guys. All right. Don't forget to set your reminder for 4 p.m. Eastern time this afternoon for Master Maker over on JTV Extra. You guys, I have pinks in the most magical way today. So if you like pink and you like rose gold and you like chain and just prettiness, come hang out for Master Maker. You don't feel obligated to buy anything. Just stick around for the project and maybe I'll inspire you to grab a bead or two. But more than anything, I just want you to come and hang out with me. I've got some beautiful stuff in the show today. And if I don't see you over there for that at 4 p.m. Eastern time, have an amazing weekend, right? I'll be right back with you guys on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We're doing Sam's Bead Box for the month of August, and it is so cool. I love it. So looking forward to that one. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.